Hello and welcome to the channel. In tonight's episode, I am in the garden. I have been home from work for a while and I thought after I sat down for a minute, let me go in the garden because there's some things that I want to do. I want to hurry up and get it done because I feel like I'm behind the power curve already. It's spring. Do you feel like that? Is it spring in your area? Come with me in the garden and let me show you what I'm getting up to. Before I talk about, the mosquitoes are already out, y'all. Woo! Before I talk about and get into what I'm doing in the garden today, I just looked over at one of my pots that I potted up. I want to say like maybe 3 weeks ago. Let me show you what it looks like. It is gorgeous. I've been taking things out of the greenhouse and moving them around, just getting them out of the greenhouse, getting the greenhouse kind of cleaned out with plant matter so I can see what's in there and what I need to do with it. And over here, this is a container that my mom picked up for me at Costco. It is massive. I put 2 clematises in here several weeks ago and several little bitty seedlings. And the seedlings are coming up. I hope you guys can see. They're coming up over there. Hope you can see. Then I have some on the other side as well. But that is not what I brought you all over here. Can you all see that? That, I believe, is a Mrs. Batesman clematis. Let me show you. I was wrong. I double checked. That is a Duchess of Edinburgh. Isn't that clematis beautiful? Can you all see it? It's not the biggest of clematis flowers, but it is gorgeous and it is putting on so many blooms. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I have 2 of them in here, 2 different ones. I have the Henry Eye, and I have the Duchess of Edinburgh. They're both white, but oh my goodness, it's really beginning to fill in, and I'm excited to see it. Look at that. I happened to look over and see that, and I thought, oh, what a beauty. I'm going to have to take a picture and put that on my Instagram. But over on this side, this is the Henry Eye right here. And the Henry Eye is waking up as well. It doesn't have any blooms on it yet, but it has a little bit of a larger leaf structure. The leaf is a little bit bigger than the Duchess of Edinburgh. And that's how I can tell the difference. Besides, the bloom itself is different. It's absolutely beautiful. It has a chocolate center, the Henry Eye. But I'll show you that when it blooms. So let's get back to what this video is about. Do y'all ever have squirrel moments? That was a squirrel moment. I get distracted when it comes to those beautiful things like that. So tonight, and again, the mosquitoes are out. It's too early for mosquitoes in my opinion, but apparently not for them. So I have a couple of mosquito little scents out here. I'm hoping that they're going to work because I'm sick of the mosquitoes already. Now, what am I doing in the garden today? Besides trying to not be eaten up by mosquitoes, I have been planting up my green stalks. Now, I told y'all in a previous video when I first started planting up the green stalks, weed seeds, that I have not been successful with planting up seeds in my green stalk. But I'm going to do what I can, fingers crossed, to try to change that. I'm going to continue to try until I get it right. So this entire green stalk over here is planted up with my salad greens. All things green, salad greens, to include a couple of spinaches, bloody dock, things of that nature. So this is all planted up and I feel good about it because last year I did not plant that all the way up, but this year it is. Now this one over here, I have not planted it up yet. I am going to be planting, can you guys see that? Can you guys see that? I'll zoom in. Herbs. I have all of my herb cases out here tonight. I have 6 of them and they are chocked full of herb seeds. Now, I am not going to take you all along with me for each and every one of these because we would be here all night, and you and I both know we could do it, but I don't recommend it because it's going to get dark. Well, it won't get dark for several hours, but you know what I mean. We need to get into it. So I am going to plant this one up with herbs. I already do still have some beautiful onions in here that I grew from seed from last year. Just a couple spread out. I think I have one on each tier. Let me see if you all can see it. Here we go. Look at that. Can you guys see that? I will zoom in, but I've got some beautiful onions down here. Beautiful, beautiful onions. And how I know they're onions is because the leaf is round like an onion. And see, I might have made a liar out of myself now. Hang on a second. This one doesn't feel round. This one feels like a chive. Y'all know what I did? I put chives in here. This is a chive. I'm going to have to go back and look at that video because I believe that that is a Dolores chive. See? I'm not lying, but you have to, sometimes you have to put your hands on it. You got to lay hands on stuff. These, I do believe, are chives. Happy to see those Dolores chives, y'all. Okay, so let's get into it because, again, I don't have a lot of time. I've already been out here for quite a while, but let me also show you what else I'm going to be potting up. I've been going around in the garden and collecting pots, taking out all of the store container pots, you know, the pots you get when you buy things in the stores and in the nurseries. I've been taking those out of the garden. I think I only have one left, but I found that it already has an herb in it, so we're going to leave it alone. These, I'm going to get this soil cleaned up, get it refreshed. I have to add soil to that one, but these will also have herbs in them. I have a lot of herbs I'd like to sow, so these are going to be herbs as well. This is the store container that I was telling you all about, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what it was, and then I found a little bitty tag all the way down in there. This, it says catnip. Can you all see that? It says catnip, so I believe that's what it is, and when I smell it, because it is in the mint family, it has a beautiful scent. So I believe this is catnip and not lemon balm. It has a different smell. I found the lemon balm and that says burdock root. So we already know that's not burdock root. That's catnip. I found the lemon balm in the greenhouse. Now these look a little worse for the wear. I believe this is a oregano. It smells kind of like in the oregano family. It has an oregano smell. If you all know what oregano looks like, let me know. I don't have the packet, I don't think. And I do believe this is oregano. It doesn't have a label, but I believe it's oregano by how it smells. This one is lemon balm. I can tell by how it smells, and I've already touched the oregano, so I don't need to touch that because the scents will mingle. It's looking a little bit worse for the wear. These overwintered in here. And this one has lemon balm on the tag. The tag is right here and it says lemon balm. So I believe that's lemon balm. But up here, I have a lavender that I grew from seed. It is a Munstead lavender that I grew from seed. First time in a long time that I've gotten lavender. And this one, even though it doesn't look like much, it has in it a couple of small lamb's ears. I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm hoping that they will grow. And I wanted to show you all what I've got in here as far as herbs. So that is maybe oregano, lemon balm, and lavender. Even though this is not necessarily an herb, I don't think, I have lamb's ear. So let's get back. So I have been crazy busy for the past 2 days, maybe 3 days. I've taken things out of the greenhouse. I've positioned them in different areas in the garden. I've taken out the pots, nursery pots. That was the word I was looking for earlier. I've taken out all the nursery pots except for that one that has the catnip in it. And I've collected all of the little buckets, white and black. And over here, we're going to get started. So let's get started. Let's see. Let's just look and see what I have in the first little bucket up here. And I'm looking for my knife. I tend to use my hori like it is a shovel, if you all haven't noticed by now. I have burdock root. I thought I had burdock root. I don't think that's burdock root back there. But this is going to go in a container in the back there. Let me show you all. See? Squirrel moment. Hold that container right here. I have been planting horseradish and burdock root. I took the comfrey out of here. All the comfrey is in the ground. The burdock root have not shown up, but I am going to re-sow burdock root in this one. I've had already either something overwinter in here and ate up the leaves of this horseradish, but it's still alive. So as you can see, it's coming back from the center. Can you all see that? So I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to take off this ugly leaf right here because it's not doing anything for the plant. And then I'm going to sow some burdock right over there. So let's go get the burdock and let's sow some burdock. Believe it or not, I had the burdock root up under my arm. I was carrying way too many things in my hand. I had the phone because I videotaped my phone. I had the burdock root and I had my fertilizer. So let's put some fertilizer in here. I know I've already done that at some point, but I can't remember when exactly I did that. So let me put you down here so you can see what's going on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this ugly leaf because it's not serving any purpose to this plant because it has been eaten up. There's no photosynthesis or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bend it over and bury it in the pot. Just stick it right here in the pot and let it rot down. Now this one, it's been eaten, but I don't need to take it off. We're going to take this out. That's from another pot over there next to it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this wood chip. Now I watered deeply last night, so this pot is moist. So I am going to place, and I've got worms in here, I do believe, is what I'm seeing. I'm going to put a little bit of fertilizer in there like that. And that's my regular standard fertilizer, you all. Osmocote, blood meal, bone meal. What else do I have in there that I normally put in there, y'all? I picked up some Dr. Earths because that was at Costco. My mom picked it up for me. And azomite rock dust. So that's pretty much all that I have in that mixture. So I'm going to open up this burdock root. And I don't know if it's the seeds or what, but I've tried several different ways to germinate this and get it going. I put it in the refrigerator. I soaked it in water. These are Baker Creek. I've had them for quite some time. It says here I got them in 22. They might be old. Well, they are old, but they might not be viable. Now these I picked up, I want to say last year at the Asian market because I thought that what I had was old. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an experiment and I'm going to put both in here. I'm going to put the Asian ones right over here like that. And then I am going to get a pinch out of this old Baker Creek. And I am going to put that over there. And I'm just going to get a pinch and put it over there. And I'm overseeding this because I don't know whether or not it is the seed. Like I said, I put it in the refrigerator. I soaked them in water. And now I'm just direct sowing them because nothing is working. So I'm not going to fret over it. But matter of fact, I'm going to put a few more of the Asian ones in there just for gee whiz. Just because I can run down to the Asian market. It's not that far away from where I work. And I can pick up more if need be. So that is the burdock root. And I really would love to have burdock root in the garden. I make tea with it. It is disgusting. It does not have the best taste to it, but it is very good for you. So I'm just going to mush that soil like that and then cover it up with the wood chip. And then I will come back and water again, just misting it just to get those seeds wet because I watered this container last night. So let's move on to the next seed. So now that we've taken care of that, I would love to have some marshmallow in the garden. I had some wild bergamot in the garden last year, and what I'll probably do is sow a few more of those seeds, and I'll do that in the stand-up grow bed behind me. I might even put a couple more lamb's ear in that pot because I don't like how I only have a few. I'd love to have a whole lot more. I'd like to put those in the front garden. So let's start with marshmallow. Now, I had marshmallow in the garden last year, but it didn't like where I placed it in the green stock. It was getting a little bit too much water. So I'm going to place the marshmallow in a different location. I might put the marshmallow not in the green stalk because you can use all of the marshmallow, the root, the leaves, all of that. And so I am going to put the marshmallow in one of the white buckets, I think. So let me go get a white bucket and let's put the marshmallow in a white bucket. I am trying to stay around the incense because of the bugs. I just don't want to have to continue to swat as often the flies because the flies are out too and the mosquitoes. So I decided not to use the white bucket. I decided to use the black bucket because I have a marker that has nothing on it. So I am going to write on there marshmallow. I'm going to put some fertilizer in here like that. And y'all, what did I do with my, here we go, my hurry. Where did I lay it down? I used to keep it in my boot and I stopped doing that. But I need to figure out, I don't want to wear a belt, but I need to figure out how I can have my hurry on me. And I might have to put it on my waist. And we'll see. I don't usually wear pants in the garden that has a belt. So, all right, I have mixed in some fertilizer and I've got a piece of wood. Let's throw that out there. I may need to put some more soil in here. I'm going to start out with what I have and then we'll see where we are. I'm trying to conserve on soil. So marshmallow. I'm trying to put as many herbs in the garden as I can. And I don't have a lot of seeds, so I'm not going to take that many. But I'm going to place them right in the center and see if I can get them to grow. We shall see. And that is the marshmallow. I'm just going to lightly flick a little bit of that soil over the top, just lightly. And once I mist all this, they will sink down as far as they need to sink. And now I need to use my waterproof chalk pen and write on here marshmallow. I may need to go get another one because it is not wanting to write for me. Oh, now it looks terrible. My word. Okay, well, I tried. We're going to do that. We're just going to leave it like that. All right. Now I'm going to place this over there with the buckets and then we're going to keep going. I don't know what's next, but it's not going to be the roselle. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put mullein in one of the buckets as well. So let's do that. Let's get some mullein. I've tried to put mullein in the garden before and have had no success with the mullein. Again, these are Baker Creek seeds. I don't know if it has anything to do with the seed itself or how old the seed is, but I've had no success. And I think I've sown probably all of these seeds. Now, mullein seeds are extremely small. Yeah, I only have a pinch left in here. But I have not had any success with these seeds. And I have tried and tried and tried. So we're going to try again. We're not going to give up. Let's get another pot. Okay, so I already put some fertilizer on here some time ago. I can tell by what it looks like on the top because that Dr. Earth's turns into like a mulch on the top once it gets wet. It doesn't sit well. Oh, looks like there's bees out too. Everybody's coming to visit today. So I hope everyone is doing well. I know this video probably seems a little A little all over the place, but you know. Ooh, I've got worms in here, y'all. But it's that kind of day for me. Just trying to get it in, get it done. Beautiful worms in this container. Wow. I love seeing that because that means that it already has worm castings. I don't have to do anything else. A little bit of store-bought and worm castings. Good to go. Now, because the mullein seeds are so small, I am going to have to just lightly mist this. I'm not going to be able to like give it a really good shot of water because it'll push the seeds down way too far, and I definitely won't get any germination. I mean, mullein seeds look like dust to me. They literally look like dust. It's just nothing. You all probably can't even see that. So I'm just going to sprinkle it right here in the center, right there like that. I'm not covering it up. I am just going to leave it just like that. And I will mist. Now, I'm sure they need sunlight to germinate, but I am going to need to put a little bit of vermiculite on top of there because it is hot here. It was in the 80s today, and if I leave this out, it's going to dry out. Those seeds are not going to have any chance by the time I get home from work again tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is all the ones I'm potting up, I'm going to put them in the cattle panel up under the shade cloth. So that will hopefully give them a fighting chance. I'm going to move on to the green stalk. I do have one or two herbs in here that I will probably put in the raised bed behind me. But for right now, I am going to start with the green stalk. And I'm going to place in here some winter savory. So let's look at the green stalk and plant some winter savory. I have my label already written out. Now, many of these already have labels. I'm not going to worry about that. I will go through and try to plop in what I already have written on these. That way I'm not writing anything extra. I'm just going to put a little bit. Now, these are very tiny seeds as well, this winter savory. So I am not going to bury these. I'm just going to rest them on the top of the soil. And when I mist, hopefully they will fall up under the soil. So that is the winter savory. And I'm not sure how big the rue or the anise is going to get. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in the raised bed over here. You all can't see it, so let's move over to the raised bed. This is my raised bed right here. I've had it for many, many years. It sat in a box. I didn't even use it. My sister had given it to me, and I was waiting to move, and so I didn't bother to put it up. And so when I moved to this house, I began to unbox all the beautiful things that I had in the box. And this was one of them. So I am going to take this lemon bergamot tag out of there. And if lemon bergamot grows, I won't be surprised. I will put it back. That way I know if something does grow, what it could possibly be. So I am just going to put a little fertilizer right here in this little pocket. And what did I say we were sowing, y'all? I said we were going to sow some rue and some anise. And so I am just going to put, this is rue, it is yellow. I'm just going to put a little bit of rue right here. Sprinkle it right there. And I don't know whether or not these seeds are viable. I've had these seeds for quite a long while. What I've been doing for the past 2 years is trying to clean out my seed boxes and sow seeds, as many as I possibly can. So I need to write a tag, and that is rue. I didn't have it written out beforehand. My apologies. And we're going to put that tag right there. And then I'm just going to take my hori and just flick that soil over the top, and then flick over some mulch just to keep it moist. And I'm not quite sure what this is. It smells, I'm not quite sure. Let's see. It has a bergamot kind of a smell, but I'm not certain. So we're going to put this bergamot tag. We're just going to lay it right there on top of the soil since it's lost its bottom. And I have another bunch like this over on the opposite end. Move myself out the way. Right here. Now this is clary sage. This sat here all winter. It is beginning to grow. It didn't die off. It didn't die back. This is an amazing plant. If you all are not growing any sage, clary sage, it has a unique smell too. Clary sage is interesting. I kind of sort of feel like clary sage smells like a musty kid, but I mean, that's just what I think about it. So over here in this corner, right in the front, let me move you guys closer. Right here, and I do have a little something going right there. I'm not going to worry about that. I am just going to make a little pocket right over here. And I am going to put some anise right there. We're going to get a little bit of fertilizer. We're going to put a little fertilizer right there. I need to go get some more from out of the shed. But for right now, we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to mix it in like that. And then this is anise. It's a white, beautiful white flower. And again, I don't know how old these seeds are. I've had them for quite some time. I'm going to put some anise right there. And I think that's all the anise seeds I have. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all, y'all. That's it. That's all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can take this tag off. I know you all can't see. I'm going to see if I can take this tag off. Nope, can't do it. It's stuck on here. Oh, I lied. Okay, so we're going to take that off. I'm just going to place it on top of here like this. I'm not going to write it. We're going to put it right there. And then I'm going to cover it up. Now, there's some tiny little seeds, so I'm not going to really do a lot of covering. I'm not going to put any mulch on that for right now. I'm just going to leave it just like that. Now, that is anise, so let's see what I have next. You're in the same location, everybody. I have some St. John's wort. Now, I know this seed is really, really old. So I am going to take this mulch and I'm going to move it over here in the center. And I'm going to move it over here in the corner. I hope you all can see what I'm doing. I'm going to move this mulch out the way because there's a little something going right there. And I don't know what it is. It might end up being, like I mentioned, the bergamot. Because I spread a lot of bergamot seeds over here last year. Once those seeds began to germinate and died off, ready to harvest, I just started dumping them over here. But it's quite possible that this will be full of bergamot, lemon bergamot. But for the time being, we're going to just throw some seeds out here, y'all. And this is St. John's wort. I may or may not have any seeds in here. These seeds look really small. Oh my. Yeah, these seeds look like dust. So I'm just going to throw them on top of the soil right there. I'm not even going to cover those up. And I don't know if this is going to grow or germinate. I'm going to have to keep this very, very moist. And that right there is something that I struggle with sometimes. So let me take this tag right here. It says breakfast radish. I am going to mark out what it says. And I'm going to place on there St. John's wort. Be nice if I could get some St. John's wort. I didn't take you all with me, but I did put some more lambs here in the greenhouse. And I planted some moringa in several of my moringa containers yesterday. So that is that. That is one container down, and I think 5 more to go. Yep. Oh, you know what I forgot? No, I'm not going to plant that bergamot because I think that might be bergamot. I think that might be bergamot because that's where I grew bergamot last year. And I sowed seeds like there was no tomorrow. I just kept sowing them, kept sowing them, kept sowing them. Now, this is my basil pot, my basil seed pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over there and I am going to get some of those white containers because I am going to sow sweet basil in probably with tomatoes because I do plan on growing tomatoes this year. So I am going to sow sweet basil in the areas where I'm going to place my tomatoes. And I'm not quite sure where that is just yet, but I'll show you all when I plant those tomatoes out. Those tomatoes are in the greenhouse. So we've got purple basil. I did grow purple basil in this green stalk right here next to me last year. I think I might have sowed some seeds in this green stalk. So if purple basil pops up, I know why. So I'm not planting purple basil in there, but Tulsi basil, I am going to plant. Oh, that smells lovely. I can smell it through the packet. Wow. I am going to plant some Tulsi basil. I said bagel. I think I might be ready to eat. So let me get that container that has, and I can see it from here, it has a tag that says holy basil. So let's get the holy basil bucket. All right. Got the bucket that says holy basil. So let's get planting. Come on down. I already had my label already printed out, and I do have some mulch on top. Now this one does have some roly-polies in it, so I don't have any more dead bug stuff that I normally use, my Captain Jacks. They have not been selling that. I've got to get over to the farm store and see if they have any. They haven't been selling it. It wouldn't surprise me if they stopped selling that. So many things have not come back. So I am just going to mix in the center this fertilizer, because I don't recall putting any fertilizer in this one. So this one is probably going to need a little bit more fertilizer. I think that might be one of my problems, that I don't put enough fertilizer, because the vast majority of my containers are pretty large, and you don't want to under fertilize. You don't want to over or under fertilize. And sometimes I think I err on the lesser of the two. And so I tend to not get the results that I would like. But it's getting better. All right. And it's nice and moist. Like I mentioned, I did water late last night. Okay, so that's that. And I'm just going to move it over. I'm not going to compress anything. Take my glove off, because basil seeds are not very small, but they're not too big either. Well, yeah, basil seeds are kind of small. Let's see, holy basil, holy basil. Where's the holy basil, y'all? I have two. Here we go, holy basil. This one came from M.I. Gardner. This is an empty packet, so we're going to take that out. And this one I picked up at the store, I want to say last year. Yeah, I picked this up at the store. It's a store in my local area that sells a lot of botanical interest seeds, a local nursery. And so I picked it up just in case the M.I. Gardner let me down. But M.I. Gardner usually doesn't let me down. But I am going to sow as much as I can. Look at those. That's the holy basil seed. I'm really hoping that I get some germination. I would love a lot of holy basil. I really need it to be able to, as a matter of fact, do I want to sow it all? Yeah, I do. I do. I do. Because I do plan on picking up some more holy basil from M.I. Gardner. I want to say in June is when he has his seasonal sale, where he puts his seeds on sale for $1. So y'all look out for that if you're in the market for buying seeds. I think the hummingbirds are out, y'all. The hummingbirds have very distinctive sounds. They're chirps. I think they're out. Sorry, y'all know I get distracted. I don't know why y'all act like y'all don't know. So that's holy basil. I am not going to move the soil over the top of that, but I am going to just flick a little bit of this mulch back, because those seeds are so small. You don't want to bury them in the soil. So that is my holy basil. Now remember, everything that I am planting tonight, if it's going to be planted in a bucket like this and I can move it, I'm moving it into the cattle panel. That way the sun is not going to bake it, because I am going to mist everything down and wet up those seeds and get them started. So I am not going to plant, or am I? I had planted some basil in with my peppers last year. I think I'm not going to plant basil with my peppers this year. I think I'm going to plant onions or garlic with my peppers, and I'm going to plant basil with my tomatoes because I do plan on growing tomatoes. So we're going to do that. I'm not ready to put the tomatoes out yet. They're still somewhat small, but I think I might try to put them out maybe over the weekend. We'll see. So I'm going to move on with the basil. We're going to leave the basil in here. Hang on, y'all. What's this? Cinnamon basil. No, I don't want to. I don't want to sow that. What's this? Large leaf Italian basil. Now that sounds lovely. And then we have here a lemon basil. I've got lots of different basil plants or basil seeds. Interesting. I didn't remember that I had all those. So let's go and move on to another seed. I do apologize for being scattered today, y'all. I've been doing a lot of sowing over the past couple of days, and I'm just trying to get it all in. I have not taken you all along with me, so bear with me and my scatterbrainness. Now, the next seed box that I'm going to grab, let's see, this is going to go in the green stalk because the oregano, Greek oregano, maybe that's what that is. Maybe that's Greek oregano. I don't know. I don't think so. The leaves don't look the same. I'm going to sow the Greek oregano over here in the green stalk. I've got some chervil that I want to plant over here. Large leaf parsley. I'm going to plant rosemary a couple different times. Yeah, all of this in here is going to get planted up, the vast majority in the green stalk. So let's move this to the cattle panel and let's get back over here to the green stalk. All right, everybody. I am going to plant rosemary in one of the containers on the ground. Now, rosemary doesn't like it very wet, so I will need to get some sand and put some sand in one of those containers. So I'm gonna hold off on that. I do believe I had chervil in here. Maybe. Let's see if I can find it. That's celery. Celery. Well, let's start with Greek oregano because I can see Greek oregano right here. And I'm not trying to bypass anything that I know I see on top of the seed box. So Greek oregano. Yeah, the leaf structure looks different than what's in the greenhouse. Oh, this came in a little packet. Let's see. Let's kind of mush up this soil a little bit. Let's just move it around. This came in a little packet inside of a packet. It says true oregano, true Greek oregano. I can't open up this little packet. There we go. I'm trying not to drop it on the ground. Oh, there's a lot of little seeds in here. Nice. And they're very small. So I am going to take a small little pinch, and you all cannot see those seeds. They're tiny. Ooh, don't want to drop it. And I'm just going to spread them on the top of the soil. I am not going to cover these up because these seeds are like minuscule. They look like dust. So that's that. That is the Greek oregano. So let me get these seeds back in this little container. This little plastic. I don't want to lose any of them. I am trying to get all of my herbs to grow if at all possible. Because let's see, that says parsley. We got parsley down here, y'all. Come on down, come on down. I know you can't see inside of the pocket, but that's okay. You all have seen me sow seeds on soil before. This is just me sowing seeds on the soil, but I want to show you what I'm sowing. And this one says big Italy parsley. So we're just going to put some parsley. And the reason why I'm sowing so many herb seeds is because I'm trying to increase my apothecary. I'm trying to grow and dehydrate and do all the things. Now that was a slightly bigger seed, so I'm just going to take the fork and I'm just going to mush the fork around to kind of just push those seeds just down in the soil a little bit. All right, now I thought I had, let's see, I know I've got some thyme. That is up at the top. What is this one? This one is English. So let's come on up, y'all. Come on up. Okay, right here, I just have a little stick. It's just the stick of the plant tag. The top broke off, but that's quite all right. This is English thyme, and these seeds are like dust as well. They're very, very small. Now, I don't hold hope that any of these little bitty dusty seeds will grow for me, but I'll be glad if they do. But I'm not going to stress out because I've tried growing them before. Let me move over here. I'm sorry, y'all. I've tried growing them before and I didn't have any success. And that could be one or two things. That could be because the seed is old, because they are. And that could also mean I let them dry out, because that's a possibility as well. Now over here, this is common thyme. I'm just going to mush up that soil like that. Just loosen up the top. Just like that. Now this seed again, tiny little bitty seed. Thyme seeds are very tiny. And I'm just going to take a little bit. Now I'm right-handed, but I always do this with my left hand for some reason. I can use both hands. That's probably why. See, I'm doing it again. Oh, I'm just going to spread some thyme just like that. Just a little pinch, pinch, pinch. And then we're going to just dump that last little bit in there like that. And it's a tiny little pinch. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a little bit more than that only because, like I said, I don't know if these seeds are even viable because I didn't get any germination last year. Not one little bitty seed, nothing. There we go. Get in there. Okay, so that's the thyme, common thyme, and English thyme. Now let's see if we can find, did the Greek oregano, do we have, let's see, that is, here we go, Moroccan cilantro. Now this is a much larger seed. We're going to actually, let me move this over. Let me move y'all down. Come on down. Come on. Y'all gonna get dizzy before this night is over. The cilantro seed is much bigger than thyme seeds, and I'll show you all what I mean. To me, they remind me like of a peppercorn. Can y'all see that? Looks just like my hand. Y'all probably can't see that. So I'm gonna put a pinch, a nice little pinch, because I've got a few seeds in here, and these are Moroccan. So my thought on this one is that it's going to love the heat. And this is Moroccan cilantro. I am not a huge cilantro fan, but I do love the seed. I love to grind the seed in my pepper mill along with black pepper and make my own spice blend. Now that I like. But just eating the leaf, you can cancel Christmas. I'm not eating that. I don't like how it tastes. Okay, so the next one, I don't believe I have any more lovage. I don't think I have any more lovage. I'm going to take this out. I think I may end up having to put some chervil in there. So we'll see what I have. If I have any more. Oh, there's something growing in here, y'all. I don't know what that is, though. Oh, I have no idea. That could be parsley. Y'all. I've got two little bitty baby seedlings of something right there. And it could very well be parsley that washed inward. Now, I know before y'all say it, girl, you're supposed to have a little bit more soil in there. I know, but I don't. Look at y'all. I got two little bitty green babies. I think that's parsley. I'm excited. So we're going to go ahead on and y'all, come on up here. I told y'all you're going to be, it feels like silly hour. And I am putting caraway up here. Now, again, I don't know about this seed because this is a old seed. This seed says, what does it say? Does it even tell me? This seed says 2020. There's a likelihood this seed is not going to germinate. So I'm going to put a nice healthy pinch of caraway right there. Right there. And we'll see what goes on. We'll see if it germinates. I feel like it won't. Now, I'm not trying to bash this seed company, but I'm just saying that I don't have the best of luck. The germination rate on these seeds seem to die down very quickly. Now, that's just my opinion because of what I am trying to sow in my garden. Again, not knocking anyone. Now this one doesn't have a tag. So let's see what we have here. What could be next? What could be next? You know what? I have a regular plain little cilantro. Um, I think I'll put that one in there. I don't really want to. I really feel like the Moroccan will be fine, but I think do I want to do it, y'all? I really don't. No, I don't want to put it up there. Here's what I'll do. See, I had laid the lovage tag down. I am gonna just smush it over here. Can you all see? Barely. I'm gonna write on the back of here, common cilantro. It's gonna be right next to the Moroccan. So let me write that down. Okay. My sister likes this, so this could be for her. I don't know if she's gonna put it in her garden or not. She is starting her spring garden as well. I'm gonna put a nice little pinch. Like I said, I don't know if these seeds are worth the hill of beans, but we're gonna put a nice little pinch in here and see what happens. Just like that. And this will be for her. Or maybe I'll mix it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. All right, so that is the common cilantro. And I don't think I have any more lovage. Did I use that tag, y'all? Yeah, I did. I did. I want to say I saw a tarragon. Yep, down here. We're gonna have to go down, y'all. Now I'm gonna stop making y'all down busy. Here is where I'm gonna be placing some tarragon. Now I know you all have probably been with me for quite a long time. I do not know how long this video has been. So I am not going to take you all, like I promised you, not gonna come with me sowing all of these seeds because I'm sure you all are probably bored to death by now. I hope you're not, but it's that time of the season where we are sowing seeds. And I am sowing as much as I possibly can because I am trying to put in a lot in this garden. I want to have as much containers as I have, all chocked full. Now, this tarragon seed is really small, so I am not going to bury it. I'm going to place a little bit right there in there like that. And again, I'm trying to grow for my apothecary. So that is the tarragon. And I want to say I have one more that I'm going to sow, but I'm not going to sow that with you all. So let's talk. You all probably cannot tell, but I am losing light. The sky is beautiful. The weather is nice and warm. It was in the 80s today. And so I am out here, and I will be out here probably for another 30 minutes trying to get just a couple more seeds sown. I want to sow some sage, some white sage, and some broadleaf sage. And so, yeah. Did y'all even see even a little piece of what I just did? Probably not. I'm probably over here in the corner. I'm sorry. I'm just talking. I feel like I've had way too much coffee today, y'all, but I did not. 2 cups this morning is all I've had. So I am going to continue to sow for another 30 minutes. And I want to say thank you very much for joining me in the garden today. I know it was a little chaotic, but that's how my brain is today. I'm trying to get it in because I want to make sure that the garden is growing as much as possible for me and all the needs that I have. And I want to make sure that I am utilizing every last pocket of this green stalk these green stalks because I did not do that last year, as well as my raised growing bed down here that you guys can see. I want that chock full of herbs as well, and everywhere else, herbs and flowers and fruit trees and you name it, all the things. So thank you again for joining me in the garden. I greatly appreciate each and every time you all come along for whatever I'm doing in the garden. I hope it is enjoyable. I hope that you learn a little something. I hope that it's entertaining. Some days I feel like it might be a little bit of the same, but I try to grow some of the same things. I will add one or two different things because I like variety. But for the most part, growing food and what we like to grow is what we like to eat. So, again, thank you very much for joining me. If you've made it this far, hit that thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section if you like the video, if there's something else you'd like to see. If you just are here and along for the ride and you're enjoying it as it comes, I greatly appreciate it. So, if you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the garden real soon. I have got to go because I've got more seeds to sow, and I still have 3 more things to sow up. And these won't get done tonight, but maybe tomorrow. So until then, bye for now.